Hey, everybody, good evening, and welcome to Truth Behind the Truth. Guys, we just wanted to show you a little bit of the clip of the celebration that's going on all over the world. Is this not exciting?
Well, it's showing all over the world, but it's definitely in Washington D.C.
Oh,
yes. It's being shown
Yes.
all over the world, but it's
Yes.
definitely here in this country. And I
Yes.
have to say that as an American, I feel absolutely wonderful.
Outstanding.
I feel good.
I haven't felt this good in 4 years.
I haven't felt this good since this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Since this. So
okay,
I want to say, listen. Y'all, I'm telling you, when I got that text from my mother, I was saying this morning, this was the best feeling for, it seemed like 4 days. It's almost been a whole week since we've been clenching and wondering.
We've been on the edge about it. You know?
Yes.
But I'm so glad to see President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. It is such a thrill.
Yes, it is.
Guys, we want to welcome you again in our excitement today on Truth Behind the Truth. Want to welcome our YouTube family and our soon-to-be Instagram family out there. It's going to be an exciting show tonight.
Oh, yes, it is.
I mean, I'm so thrilled. It has been a wonderful, thrilling day, with everything going on and all that. And my very special dear heart guest tonight is Miss Tara Jones. I'm so excited to dig in with her and talk about some great things that she's doing. And also talk about her daughter. Her daughter's really doing some fabulous things in the industry. Wow. So we're going to look forward to talking to her about that tonight as well.
All right.
Man, I'm so excited. But again, also want to remind you guys of the normal things. Share, like, and subscribe. Definitely go to the YouTube page, okay? Get there, just go to TTBTT, okay? Mm-hmm. In your YouTube search, it'll take you right there. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that. We need those subscriptions up.
And don't forget to buy our lovely t-shirts.
Yes, absolutely. T-shirt sales. Yes.
Truth Behind the Truth.
Truth Behind the Truth. Go to the Truth Behind the Truth page. Yes. Scroll down. Okay, there's a lot of stuff there now. Okay, but scroll down and you'll get to the part where it says about our T-shirts. You just click on the PayPal part. Okay, and get your T-shirt. Want to also remind you, if you have not seen any of the previous shows, oh my gosh, you have missed some shows. Last week with actor Sean Baker was awesome. The week before that with our part-time co-host, Harold LaFall, was an awesome show, okay? If you have missed any of our previous shows, go back to the video library. Just click on the video library and on the top of the Truth Behind the Truth page, and you can see all the shows that are available to you as well. We're steadily uploading them to YouTube, so they're going to be there available to you as well. Last point, I know you got some stuff you want to dig into. Want to encourage you guys, if you want to do advertising with Truth Behind the Truth, please contact us. The information will be at the end of the show. Jot it down. We'll be more than happy to have you as an advertising advertising on the show as well. That's right. Excited about it. All right.
Yeah.
The week of weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, we have been on edge. Okay. For the past few days.
Like I was just like, oh my gosh. You know how I felt like I was in the crazy war, just scratching for when is the count coming? When is Pennsylvania? When is Nevada? When is Georgia? What are we going to do? How long is it going to take? Oh my goodness gracious. I felt like I was like you, literally on edge.
Yes. I mean, I was. I mean, I knew you and I had spoke about this for quite some time about that. And I told you, I said, Trump would be a one-term president. I just do it. I know you had your ideas because of his trying to move into a fascist society and, been wanting to try to become a dictator and all those other type of things.
Well, my little conspiracy theory. But they did not come into full.
Right, but it was good though.
Lessons. They did not come into full form. Thank you.
Right. It was. I know, right? But it was really good for you to put it out there just for for thought pattern. You know what I'm saying? It really was. Because it made me look back at some things. But his behavior really did, pardon the pun, dictated that. And the other part about it, if this man would have won again, we were probably in for that. You know what I'm saying? We would have been at least trying to set up there. But I don't believe the American people would have allowed that to happen.
Most definitely. And I want to, for somebody to tell following his followers or whoever, whatever you want to call them, Trumpsters, You know, for these people to surround buildings and to block off intersections and interstates, you know, I find it that there is something that needs to be addressed.
Yes.
Where I feel like people who feel like they can control democracy, the right of other people to voice their opinions through guns, there must be some accountability now.
Right.
And it's just it's really this. I cannot understand. Well, let me tell you this. I can understand, but at the end of the day, I do not agree with you whoring that's what I call it, whoring your ideas on somebody because you think it's right.
Right.
Everybody as a collective, we have individuality. We have authenticity. We talk about authenticity on this show a lot. We all come with authenticity in our lives. But one thing I've always admitted, I don't care what political party that you are a part of, understand that we're all trying to succeed in this world. Yes. We're all trying to survive and to thrive. Yes. And I hate that if we're going to be divided like this, then you know what? Trump had a foundation to stand on, regardless of the working class people of this country. We should be looking towards the goal of making sure that our kids are successful, that we are just at least feeling like somebody is taking care of us, regardless of party. Right. We should feel like we are all in this together.
Absolutely.
And going towards a common goal.
Well, you know, and well said, you know, and I think with the light of that great opportunity now is before us.
Thank you, Jesus.
You see what I'm saying? The light of that great opportunity is before us now, and I'm really thrilled about that.
And the vote is not the mean all, it's the end all.
No, it's not. But see, here's the thing, and then we're going to go ahead and go with you, unless you have another point you want to make.
Go ahead.
The thing about it is like I was sharing with some coworkers today. You know, about the jubilation and all what was going on. But the one thing that we've got to keep in mind is that we cannot expect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to do it by themselves.
We must stay engaged.
Okay, we've got to stay engaged. We've got to be behind them, but we've got to start every day right around us. We've got to start embracing each other differently. We've got to start being an example of what we're expecting them to do. Something. So if America, if you will do that, if you will start looking at one another as a respective part of your life, then the change that that our leaders are pushing for will happen. Don't expect them to come in and just pull the whole. I'll use the term. They'll pull the whole elephant apart, like we like to say, the truth in the room. They're going to have to dissect the pieces. You know, so be patient with them. You know what I'm saying? Be patient. Be patient with the process that it's going to take to change things in America. Because first, the hardest thing for humanity to change is their mind and an idea.
That's right.
Okay, so you've got to give them a way to find a way to see it differently. You know, and always remember, everybody's not going to be on the same page as where we are now. You've got a good portion of those that are very disappointed.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and they're going to buck against the system. You know, at the end of the day. But here's the thing. We've got to do what we believe on the show at the end of the day is that what do? Have a relationship with our Creator, love ourselves, and love humanity. Okay? So if we put that into practice, you know, on a day-to-day basis, we will be helping President Biden, as I will say, and, you know, Vice President Kamala Harris, you know, at the end of the day. Do you have one point before we go?
For those people who saying that their taxes are going to go up, are you making $400,000?
Okay.
A year? I'm just wanting to know because I'm not making it, so I know.
Not yet.
Okay. But I know all this time I've been heavily taxed.
Right.
Through my and I'm sorry for those who feel like, you know, that Biden's going to up the taxes. I need to come get some money from you, though, because you're making some good money. I don't know where you're getting this money from, but you need to just send some over, because if you feel like you're making $400,000 a year and you're going to be heavily taxed, we need to talk. I need to figure out where you're getting your money from. I'm just saying, because something ain't clean in that water. I'm just saying.
That taxation issue is a whole other conversation.
Yes, it is. You know? Yes, it is.
But anyway. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and go to commercial, guys, and then we're going to bring our wonderful guests up tonight. I'm so excited to have my friend, Miss Tara Jones, a beautiful actor, and very well known typically in the Atlanta area on one of the commercials that she has done for a repeated period of time. And we're going to, after the commercial, see some of her work before we bring her on as well. All right, so enjoy the commercial, guys. We'll be right back with you in a few minutes.
You're hired.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
How soon can you get started? And then we're going to schedule a series of meetings over the next couple of weeks.
Well, when I said right away, I meant right away after Christmas.
Christmas.
Well, yes, I have to leave. I'm getting married.
Oh, okay. I was never one to get married, but congratulations, best wishes, blah, blah, blah.
She shoved her father's blue collectible marble up her nose, like way up her nose.
We're gonna get it out, okay?
Politics aside, how are you enjoying being home for the holidays with your family?
Well, family.
If you did sit on Santa's lap, I'm sure everyone at home would love to know what you would ask for.
Ask for a suit that fits.
Look, during each spectator class, a parent has to go up and help show the students how to master a move. It helps us parents to understand the beauty and physical demands of ballet. You should try it.
No, I'm good.
Lacey's dad wants to try.
Aren't you a good sport? Come on up, please.
Go,
And
Marian.
you can just take the staircase right over there. You can help yourself up the steps.
No, I couldn't even bring myself to ask Kylie to give up the arts for, well, sports.
No.
But you know what? That Marian, he's a doll. And you are one lucky lady.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go. I don't want to be late to the game. Bye, lady.
Are you a little afraid that you're starting to lose control of this team?
Losing control. We're 7-2. Does that record sound like I'm losing control?
Coach, why are you so defensive?
We're winning games and you want to chew my ass over some false starts? You're damn right I'm defensive.
And does he have health insurance?
No.
Okay, wait right here. I'll be right back,
What?
okay? Just wait here.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Truth Behind the Truth tonight.
Yes.
It's an exciting day, man. I mean, we are excited about our guests, and just before we bring her up, I'm just thrilled about Kamala and excuse me, let me be politically correct.
Yes.
President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. I'm just so thrilled. I'm just thrilled. I'm so thrilled. But anyway, let's get into the show because I don't want to start talking about that now. Guys, we want to bring to you tonight one of my dear friends all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. But we're connecting out here from LA to Atlanta. I'm sure she's thrilled as well about the events that have been going on in Atlanta today. Yes. And we're looking forward to digging into some things and talking about that with her tonight. Yeah. Want to bring to Truth Behind the Truth, Mrs. Mrs. Tara Jones.
Yes.
Hey guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God. I'm so thrilled to have you, and then I'm so thrilled on top of everything that's going on today. I mean, I'm just a bucket of thrills today.
I think a lot of people are happy, and then a lot of people, like you said, are not so happy. So that's why, look, I've got my shirt that I said for both sides.
Yes.
Never fear. We're all going to be fine. It's all going to be okay.
Exactly.
It's it's going to be good. Like we were talking pre-show. I said, half of the people were really upset 4 years ago, and now those people it's their turn.
Exactly.
It's like the American way, right? Like every
the American way.
Somebody else.
Here you go. Everybody has their turn to be upset, right?
It's the American way.
Exactly. So tell me. So what did you do? We're gonna start with that first. What did you do this morning when you found out? How were you in bed? Were you walking around? Were you dealing with the kids? What were you doing?
I found out the way everybody finds out on Facebook.
Okay.
I mean, that's our news, right? Like,
exactly. So what did you do?
Yeah, I found out on Facebook. I have a really unique situation because I live in a very conservative part of the country, and I work in a very democratic industry. So I really am that middle line where I see both sides so clearly as to why the left is upset and why the right is upset. And it's been very interesting to watch, almost like a bird's eye view, to see and to realize that so much of it is just miscommunication and our media that is just when you can't get the truth. This is the bottom line for me, right? And how ironic is this, right? The truth behind the truth.
Right.
And I'm a former journalist.
Right.
When you can't get the truth and you can't get the facts from the media, and that's their job, when they can't be unbiased, you're in a world of hurt because you don't know right or wrong anymore, truth from false. And it really puts us in a very dangerous place as a society. There's just no place to go for the truth. And you can dig through it, right? You can watch CNN and then watch Fox and then try and go to PBS and NPR and you can try and decipher it. But look, nobody has time for that. Nobody has time for that.
Exactly.
So it really does put us at the mercy of what the media tells us. And when the media is biased, that's dangerous.
Right.
So it's been hard for me. It's been very hard for me as a former journalist to watch what has transpired in America, coming from the right and the left, because it's been very difficult for me because so much of it is just, it shouldn't have happened. So much has happened.
My thing, I always discuss this. The one thing, like you said, news is that I think has really gotten to the point that even it has this level of being polarized at the same time. The one thing now, this person that will become now former president, I have never seen anybody in my short, 24 years on the planet, that no one has gotten complete coverage for the entire time that they were president. There was not a day that this man has not been in camera in some sort of way. It really was, honestly, at the end of the day, the Trump reality show or the Trump show.
How can you turn that off? You know what I mean? You hate them. That's news, right? Well, I shouldn't say news. It's entertaining. He's always going to see. He's always saying something that is polarizing or not politically correct or whatever it is. So they're going to show that. They're always going to show that. Because the media was not used to that kind of verbiage constantly coming out of the president of the United States of all people. So it's almost like, oh my gosh, look at what he said. That's going to be our top story.
Yes.
Well, that was like day one of the presidency. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait a minute. This is just how he communicates.
Yes. Yes.
So it was like this lead story for the morning show, the noon show, the 5, the 6, the 11. And it was the same. And it was a different story because he just kept talking throughout the day.
Absolutely.
So it's very difficult though you use the word polarizing, and I think that's what it is. I am all about communication, right? I was a communications major, and it's why I love television and production. I love the art of communicating.
Yes.
And I think we have lost that art. We have absolutely lost the art, the skill. And that's a problem because when you talk to each other, you can solve so many problems. When you stop talking to each other and you start assuming things, and when the media starts telling you things are true, and you have no place to find out if they are, we're just in a world of hurt. So I hope moving forward, what we can get out of 2020, because I call it my year of clarity.
Exactly.
In so many ways. I hope that we can move forward. Like, okay, if that was unacceptable in the White House,
right,
the media is unacceptable as well. We got to we've got to change it because we've only fixed half the problem. You can't do that, because when I will say this, and boy, this may get some people mad, but when you raise a flag and you say there's a problem, with a lot of people saying there's a problem with this voting. Right. And the people, because he's been so polarizing, just shut it down.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's an issue too. Because whether am I allowed to curse?
Absolutely. It's the truth behind the truth.
So whether he's an asshole or not is irrelevant. If he's raising a concern, we should be hearing that and not pushing it aside.
Right.
When we do that, we start to lose some of our freedom. So I really hope that the far left and the far right can come together and go, okay, this was wrong on this side. This was wrong on this side. And let's fix this because it's so broken. And I hate to say that I don't think just electing Biden is going to fix a lot of our problems.
No.
There's so much work to do. And I hope that we don't just forget about all the other stuff that's broken.
Right. Well, I think you got a point. I think that I'm sure you heard us in the beginning of the show and a little bit part of the host chat. But one of the things that kind of dropped in me today, about this and seeing that the sense of unity that the communities all over that are celebrating. But I said to some coworkers, like I mentioned earlier, is that we cannot put the burden on Biden and Kamala. You know what I'm saying? We have to be the ones that institute it. We have to be on the groundwork. We have to now take the responsibility of looking at our neighbor differently. You know what I'm saying? And instituting that and bringing that into life, because this is where it will. And this time and phase in our life, normally what happens is that and let's just take it spiritually just for a second. Typically the governing always comes from the head down. You know what I mean? And then the people under that are the recipients of that idea. However, because of what we've experienced, and as we said, the polarization, if I may use that term, has been so infectious, throughout society. We're the ones that have to come together and allow that new, I'm gonna say the new fertilization, if I could say, and let that come up from the grassroots. You know what I'm saying? And go up.
Because we always say that organizations take on the personality of their boss.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Look at America.
Right.
Like you can't have a polarizing figure.
Right.
Unify people. It doesn't.
Right. It doesn't.
It's against every law of nature.
Right.
So it is that part. I just hope that we can heal there. That we need a unifying force. We have to. America cannot continue down the path that it has been on for the past 4 years. It's not fair, and it's not fair. And I think we need to have fairness in our country. And, you know, and that needs to be for everybody. You know, it doesn't mean that, you know, now Biden's in and now we squeeze a different section of our society. It means we've got to figure this out. Everybody feels represented.
Absolutely. That's where I was about to get at, because I feel like the media should, you know, everybody's celebrating this win, but I'm mostly in the media. I'm seeing places like New York, Washington, D.C., LA, and Atlanta, but I'm not seeing middle America. Good point. I feel like that's where the media is still dropping the ball, because there are people in middle America. You have farmers, you have people who are working in the factories who voted for Biden, who took time out of to put their ballots in, and we're not seeing that celebration. And that's where the real America stems from. We have to see the country as a whole come together, not just New York, not just Washington, D.C., not just Atlanta, not just L.A. There has to be a unification of this country that is so great that everybody is involved, which would bring this together, which would be the first phase. But this is where the media needs to stop. And when it comes down to certain wins of this nature, putting on certain places of this country. And I feel like that would heal, it won't heal the wound, but it will show that not only that these places are celebrating, but we have people out here in middle America, places out in suburbs, towns, out, you know, little, what they call hamlets. We have people who are celebrating themselves, but they're not getting their rightful due. And that's where that Trump caught that. He caught that. He really did. And I feel like that's where the media at its worst is really at this moment should be understanding that if you want America to come together and to heal, we got to show the country as a whole.
We have to get the bias out of media. They've created a narrative in both directions, whether you're on the right or the left, I don't care. They have created a narrative. And if you agree with this narrative, you watch this network. And if you agree with this narrative, you watch that network. That's dangerous, is my point in general, because they're just all about ratings. When social media came, the ratings plummeted for local news, cable news, because nobody was waiting until 5 o'clock to get their news. They had it on Facebook. It's you know, it's how we get our news. So all of a sudden it was like sensationalism just went through the roof because they had to get people to watch. Well, once that didn't work, now we have to create something else. And for me, it's just so vividly clear what they're doing. And it's appalling.
It is still. It still is. You know, and then we'll pivot on after this particular point if you have another with that. And just even looking at the leading up to the announcement, you know what I'm saying, or the final point of him becoming, you know, president-elect, and the inching, you know, and again, sensationalism, you know, keeping people grabbing, because the one thing we talked about the other day, throughout all of this, we're wondering who's going to get the next Emmy. Is it CNN? Is it Fox? You know, or which one is going to get the next Emmy for the broadcasting of the whole event? You know, and who's going to, was the Nielsen ratings? You know, exactly for this particular point in time. And at the end of the day, that's all they care about, you know?
Well, it's money, right? I mean, it's $1. So if they're not selling their ads because they don't have viewership, then that's all they care about. So how do they raise the viewership so that they can sell the ads? So, you know, my bottom line is I will not watch that. I can't do it. And I sincerely hope that America comes together and corrects that as well. It has to be corrected. And, you know, for anybody who's feeling horrible today, I tell my children, don't let one person dictate your happiness. Work on yourself. God's my president.
Absolutely.
Be a good person. You're going to figure this out. And if you're truly upset, you know, really look as to why.
Wow.
You know.
Exactly. I totally agree. So let's pivot in and talk about you a little bit.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Where have you? Oh, let me backtrack that. Let's start at how you got your foundation. Yeah, I know because of knowing you coming through journalism, whatever. So how did you? I know you started out in journalism. How did you pivot into acting, and just kind of where did you get the feeling and the buzz and all that good stuff?
Wow, this is the perfect transition because I saw where media was heading. So I had my daughter, Skylar, and she was a year and a half old, and I never saw her. And this was, oh my gosh, so she's going to be 13. So this was 11 years ago. And I never saw her. And I was so tired of it. And I was going into work and I just saw how things were changing. Like I would write the intro for the anchor to throw to me live, and it would be changed. And I would hear it in my ear and I'm like, well, that's not exactly what happened. You know, what happened is, and then of course the anchors would get upset because it makes it look like they delivered false information and I'm correcting them on air when in fact it was the producer or news director or someone who was going in there and making it a little bit juicier.
Yes.
Just didn't sit right with me. I couldn't do it. Ethically, morally, I couldn't do it. So the main reason was I definitely wanted to be home with my daughter, but also my dream of being a journalist and changing the world through telling the truth and, discovering stories was just gone. It was just a dead dream. So I saw the handwriting on the wall and I left, and my friend said, well, you know how to read a teleprompter. So go find a talent agency and start doing some commercial work or industrials, training videos. And I was like, okay, I could do that. Like, I know how to read a teleprompter. So I went and I signed with People's Store here in Atlanta and started getting some industrials, commercials. And then they were like, why don't you try acting? And I'm like, oh, no. Like, I'm not an actor. Like, I can't, no. I can read a teleprompter, but I'm not an actor. And I started taking some classes and absolutely fell in love with it because I had always been in production. I just start my own production company in the midst of all of this too, where I started producing and directing commercials, became a partner with Comcast here and started doing their commercials. And, built this nice little production company and then decided, I think I really want to explore this acting thing. Like I love conveying stories. That's the art of communication, right? I love telling stories and just started training and was blessed with booking, and started building my resume. And then Skylar all of a sudden started growing up and my agent was like, what about her? Does she saw her on Facebook? Everything leads back to Facebook.
Right. Okay. Really.
Saw her on Facebook. And was like, does she want to do this? And I said, I don't know. I'll ask her. And she did. And she was God-given talent. She was off to the races. And then I had another little girl and she's off to the races. And now my poor husband has 3 actors in the family.
He has the opportunity to try on different tuxes for all the awards that he's going to get.
Right.
See, so that works out. So you could just get the fashion consultant here and make up the deal with him on a regular basis. Sure. Looking good.
We'll do that.
but that is so great. I want to ask you about, of course, the most famous commercial and the furniture commercial in Atlanta that you did. Did you produce that particular one for them, or was it?
Did not. No, ironically, that was that's my husband.
Hey, wait.
Don't even. I did not produce that. Ironically, WSB produced that, and that was the last. That was a former station that I worked with here in Atlanta. That's the ABC affiliate here in Atlanta. They were producing that.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was a big run. Did you like working with them at the?
Phenomenal people.
Yeah,
phenomenal people. It was just fantastic. I mean, and as an actor, it's like you love having a regular gig. And to have a regular gig that is also with great people that you felt proud, to represent their company. It was great. Yeah, it was fantastic.
So are you going to do more things with them again, or are they kind of like push up to something different now?
COVID 2020, baby.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Hey, we're open for stuff.
Right? Yeah, I've been with them, I guess, about 5 or 6 years, something.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They recently changed their name.
Yeah, we saw it before we left Atlanta.
COVID, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. But you know, if I did, I would be honored too. But you know, if not, 2020's changed a lot of things. So we have.
Exactly. Believe me, you know that. Did you have a question before we went to commercial break?
Well, to be honest with you, when I was watching your reel, I kept saying to myself, I think I've been following your career, and I don't, without really following you. I was thinking about the episode "If Loving You Is Wrong." I think that's Tyler Perry. And I remember that episode, and I said, wow, I remember that in Unnecessary Rough. I remember these episodes. And I wanted to ask you, do it feels like in each movie or each TV show that you have done, is there a sort of a connection? Because I see a comedian, a comic there, a comedian actress there. Isn't that your forte? Would you want to get into dramatic? I think you have did some dramatic acting. But what comes easier to you? Is it the comedian side, or is it the acting, the drama side? Which one comes easier to you?
God, that's such a good question. I don't know, because comedic timing can be difficult if you don't have it with the other actor.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible, but truly, like there's been some people that I've worked with that I'm like, you know, and I'm sure vice versa. You know, people have worked with me, they're like, hello.
You get it, right?
Did you get the joke?
Right.
I love comedy. I mean, without humor, my life would be in shambles. So I absolutely love comedy. But there is something so raw about dramatic acting too, where it just taps into a different place. I do find that lately I've been working on a different technique, and man, it really takes you to some deep places. And I try and say that that's therapeutic and not harmful. But it can be taxing, you know, to go to some places. I tend to play authoritative roles, which is probably why that was hard to answer. I tend to play militant, authoritative, type A bitch.
Okay.
I don't know why casting sees me that way.
But
I play a bitch really well.
Go ahead.
So,
if you know your niche, you know your niche, right?
Yes. And don't feel bad. The greatest actresses always did play that category. I was thinking about Betty Davis when you said that, the authoritarian bitch.
Right. So
I was really stuck.
It was a typecasting.
But I mean, truly, it's like, you know, that Marry Us for Christmas. I remember doing the table read, and there was a network guy in there, and he said, my name was Fiona Flowers, and I was this like florist, this millionaire florist from New York who had built this empire with flowers. And I played it so staunch and, you know, uppity and like Devil Wears Prada, you know, type role. And he was like, what? Like, I didn't get that. Like, what? And I died at the end of the table read because I'm like, oh my God, he hates me. I'm getting fired. Like, I just read that totally wrong. But it was what I was so used to with like reporter and, you know what I mean? Like that, give me the facts.
Exactly.
And he was like, you're a florist, for God's sake. Your name is Fiona Flowers. What are you doing? Why are you so stiff? And it was like the best direction and critique I ever could have gotten, because I took a Sam Christensen workshop, which is an acting workshop where their whole thing is about finding your essence and what is your myth, right? And for me, it was control.
Okay.
People who know me are like, I know. But I'm a total control freak. Right. So he was all about like, okay, so if you own control, you own the entire spectrum over here to chaos. So I was able to dial into, oh God, how do I do Fiona Flowers? And I was like, I can do her like totally off the rails, chaotic, like total Fruit Loop. And I had so much fun doing that role. And Dieta West, who you had on your show,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
She was in that.
Yes.
And it was just so fun. It was so fun to just be a total Fruit Loop.
Wow. I want to hear about this new technique that you were telling me that's going to take you to a different place. We're going to go to a commercial real quick, but when we come out, I want to hear about that technique where, that how it's taking you to another place. I'm really curious about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, we'll be right back after this commercial break. And we're back, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. The Truth Behind the Truth. We are here with my lovely, wonderful friend, Miss Tara Jones. We are so excited to have her here with us tonight. I want to remind everybody about next week's show. Oh God, my little brother, as I call it, and your buddy, Mr. Omar Epps. Omar Epps. Lord, see, what am I saying? Omar Epps. Okay, he's gonna hate me, but it's so funny about Omar Epps because when Tara and I were on Almost Christmas together, Omar Epps was on that as well.
We sat in front of him.
Yeah, exactly.
At the premiere. Yes.
But anyway, guys, I'm sorry about that. But Omar, don't get mad because I said the wrong thing. Okay, it happens.
The other Omar.
Yeah, exactly. But Omar is really great. He is actually more on our theatrical department. Okay, he is actually has auditioned on Broadway. He has been in Beauty and the Beast and quite a few things. And he was on the line for getting this score in Hamilton until COVID hit. So, we're hoping to send him good vibes. We'll talk about that next week with him, as well, about getting that audition and making that for Hamilton. That is so exciting. Yeah. But anyway, so back in. So I wanted to hear about that technique that you were saying that was taking you from the bitch to the rest.
Well, no, the bitch is still there.
Okay.
I have the bitch. No, I'm reading. I'm sure people are familiar with the Chubbuck technique.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can I put a paper clip there? I'm sorry. When I tell you, when I started studying Ivana's just revolutionary way of helping you develop the characteristic as a person, first off, and then when you learn who you are as a person, you can transform just about almost into anything. As long as you do, and I'm right about this, as long as you don't judge the character.
That's the key.
God, and that's so hard, right? That can be really, really difficult. And, my daughter was just doing a movie up in Canada, and it was really good because it was, I was able to work with her. You know, what is your scene objective? How does it work into your overall objective?
Yes.
You know, what do you want from this character? What is your goal? What do you do? You know, and it really allowed us to break down the scenes to just this raw level of where she was. I mean, at 13 years, you don't have a whole lot of life experience, right? But what you do have are your own familial relationships that you can pull on. And those are so strong as a child because you don't have a whole lot else to take, right? They're not cluttered with the shit yet. So it was really good to use her sister, me, her dad, to our dog.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, the dog. I was kind of like, why are you more emotional about the dog than me? Like, yeah, but like these things that she was able to tap into, that if it was, you know, a very dramatic role that she had to play. So to tap into those dark places, what if something were to happen? What if, what if something were to happen?
Exactly. I got you.
You know, and it just really allowed her to safely go to these places and to safely come out of them. You know what I mean? Because I'm so careful about my children and making sure that when they have those really dark roles, are you able to live truthfully in that moment, but then get off the ride.
Gotcha. Get off the ride. Exactly.
If you can't get off the ride, then you can't get on the ride. And I have to be very, very careful with my youngest daughter, Ariel, because sometimes she can't get off the ride. And if she can't, then we can't do the audition. And it's just a hard no decline for us that we can't do it. So she can, of course, handle the comedy. She can do some drama, but really dark, deep stuff. It's just, she's just not there yet as an actor. And I can see that she's getting there and she's maturing. But she has to know the difference, you know, between this is just, we're just going to go here for a minute and then we're going to hop off.
So speak to, I know you're going to, and we'll get back to the point where we were going to talk about the technique training that you were doing to pull yourself into this other place. But I'm loving the vein that you're in about, and speaking about your children, and if you want to, if you could share a little bit about Skylar, but encouraging the parents that are out here that are really trying to mold their children for this wonderful industry, even though it's a very combative industry because people, you know, they see it at so many different levels, but it's a beautiful industry if it's handled properly, you know.
I've been in this industry since I was 15 years old. There was a video production class in high school, and I was like, I love this. Like, I just fell in love, and that was it. I was all in. Went to school, went to college for it, and you know, broadcasting. It told you all of that.
Yes.
So when my agent contacted me about Skylar, I had zero reservations about putting her in this industry because the reason I love this industry the most is because of the people. The people, the creatives.
Yes.
That's my tribe. So I knew that my tribe would welcome my daughter. And very quickly I found that it was her tribe too. Specifically speaking to Skylar. She was just so in her own element. She was at home. On her first set, she was at home. I was very careful about who I had work with her at first. And what I did was I chose to get a lot of the training and then I taught Skylar.
Okay. Best way.
I just didn't. Now there were very few people that I would allow touch her because number one, as a child, most roles, they just wanted to be a kid. Like, just be a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't really want to mess with that too much. But as she started getting older, and once you hit like 9-10 years old, they really, even 8, they really expect you to have some training under your belt. And some of the heavier roles really started coming in around 7-8 years old. And I was like, "Ooh, okay, we really need to get some training here." I think for the parents, I say this all the time: if you want it more than your kid, don't do it. Like,
good point.
It's just not. Your kid has to be begging you in order to do it.
Okay, gotcha.
And if they're not begging you, do anything else.
Okay.
Anything else.
Gotcha.
Baseball, soccer, dance, gymnastics, chess, archery.
Yes.
Anything else.
Okay.
Because Skylar loves this. And I fully believe with my whole heart and soul that that child is going all the way to the Oscars. Like, I just believe in her that much. And I think she's that gifted as an actress.
Gotcha.
She has been injured so badly, so many times by this industry. And I've watched her get knocked so hard that I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, are you still okay? And she'll cry and she'll wipe her tears and she'll go, I just need a minute. They knocked me down, but I'm going to get back up. I just need a minute. And she does that all the time. And it's like the higher she gets, the bigger the fall. Right. So, I mean, she's been up for some pretty big things and has gotten really close and, in fact, booked some of them and then been unbooked on some of them.
Wow.
And, you know, production canceled or, you know, oh, I know we said that we did everything for you and you have all of your travel arrangements and all of that, but we're actually not going to use you anymore. And that, I mean, that's not happened once, twice, 3 times. I think we're up to 4, 5 times.
Yes.
It's the industry.
Yes, it is.
It is. It is.
And a lot of people who do not know the industry take that for granted because you, like you said, you never know when production will start or when are you going to actually work when you get the job. You're always in, you know, limbo. All right, you know, you're always waiting. But you know, speaking on, you know, child actors, we hear stories of exploitation of children. And, you know, when you said, I think you, if I paraphrase this correct, when you said that if you wanted more than the child, then this is something that you do not need to put your children through, then that rung so true to people that I have looked up to. I'm such a Judy Garland fan. God bless her. I'm such a Judy Garland fan. I love Judy Garland, but her story registers that. Shirley Temple's story registers that, and you see sometimes the outcome of situations of that nature. But I wanted to ask you, when you are on that set with her, do you watch her every move, or do you protect her in that realm? Because it's so easy for certain parents to leave their children on the sets because they think they're in good hands, but sometimes they're not always in the greatest hands. But do you, as a parent, do you stay on the set with her at all times and watch over the process of her work?
SAG rules say you have to be within sight or sound of your child at all times.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
I will never allow my child to be on a set where I don't trust production. So I fully vet them. She has a team that is fully vetting these productions. And for the most part, the auditions that come her way are of a caliber that we know they're on the up and up. But if your child is just starting out, and we were there, and you want to do shorts or you want to do a student film, you better be vetting the writer, the director, the producer, the other actors. And when you're on set, you have to be, you're not their manager. You're their mother. You're their father. You have to be their greatest protector. And that's my job, first and foremost. So, you know, I was just on set with her for 3 months. And 100%, if I could not see her or hear her, I went up to the audio guy and said, "Can I have ears, please, so that I can hear her?" And 100, here you go. Yep, here they are. It just, sometimes productions get a little crazy, right?
Certainly.
Like understatement of the entire show. So you have to be proactive. You have to know what the rules are. You have to know what the laws are. You have to understand that your child, even if it's the best production in the world, like, I mean, I can't say enough about the production that she was just on, but there were still things that I had to address with production for her own well-being. And they were met with such grace and such immediacy. Absolutely. Done. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. They're not, you can't come from it with a malicious intent. You know, like they're not doing things maliciously 9 times out of 10. You just have to be vocal. You have to be supportive. You have to be professional about it. And, you know, if you show up and your child is prepared, you're a professional, you're going to have such an amazing time on set. But along with that, I like to hear her and see her because I am also her acting coach. So I want to make sure when she does something that I can go, come here, you know, try this, do this. I didn't like, you know, how you did this. Why did you do that? And she's getting to an age now where it's so fun because I'm like, wait, why did you do that? That's not like really how we rehearsed it. And she's like, because he's doing this. So I think I should probably do. And I was like, cool, done.
Wow.
I like that. I'm like, I trust you. I totally trust you now.
Making those choices.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like to see my kid.
Oh my God, I can just imagine how you feel seeing those choices coming into life. That is so awesome. Yeah. So let's talk about your. What are you got doing? You know what? I'm sorry, we got to go to another quick commercial real quick. Okay. But when we come back, I want to talk about what you got going on and your writing, and then see when we're going to see you on camera again and all that good stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, we'll be right back in just a second. Hello, guys, and thank you. And we're back. Want to welcome again all of our YouTube visitors. I always get tongue tied when I say that. YouTube family. YouTube. Our Instagram family. And certainly
Oprah says that's a YouTube.
And our Facebook family. Thank you guys for tuning in the Truth Behind the Truth tonight with us and our wonderful guest, my dear friend, Miss Tara Jones. I want to remind you to go to the Truth Behind the Truth page, get your t-shirt. Yeah. We need to get that t-shirt. Definitely go to the YouTube page and subscribe. We need your subscriptions there as well, like all of our pages. Please share, like. All right. Tell us, Tara, what is going on in Tara's world now in terms of where you're going and what you're doing?
Yes.
I'm finally starting to audition again. Yes. So I had to take so much time. I took time off, right? That's me. I didn't book.
Yes. Okay.
But I took time off. Right. But truly, my focus was on my children for the past 3 years.
Okay.
Getting that ball going.
Yes.
And I really took for granted how much I was steadily booking. So, but we would go out to LA for pilot season.
Yes.
And we would go out to LA for episodic season.
Yes.
And when they would book, we would have to go back.
Okay.
So it was a lot of flying LA to Atlanta for the past 2 years, and Skylar booking and Ariel as well, both commercial and TV. And I certainly, you know, had my fair share of a few commercial and, you know, like you were talking about my steady gig. But TV film, I just haven't been able to audition much because I've been booked out.
Yes.
So I'm so thankful that this ball is now rolling for Skylar.
Yes.
And Ariel, I'm now focusing a little bit more on her.
Okay.
But now I can focus on me again.
Yay!
It's like, dream, right?
Yes.
So, you know, we were out in LA when COVID hit. We flew back March 13th. And then, of course, we were shut down COVID. And then she booked this movie and we were in Canada August 25th. And we just got back October 27th.
Yes.
So I just did like my third audition this week.
Wonderful.
And I'm like, I'm back, baby.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
But no, it's been really good because in that time, I've been able to train. I've been able to train. And I love that. And I think that, you know, it's all in God's timing. And I absolutely love that I am in such a good place where now if I do book, when I book the next gig, I'm in such a good place that Skylar is at an age where, you know, she's making her own decisions now. And, you know, with her auditions now, I have to work with her as much. And, you know, the homeschooling is going great. You know what I mean? Like everything just kind of fell in place where it's like, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. So I always, my hashtag on Instagram, Facebook, everything is God-led year. And this has been such a beautiful God-led year in that I threw my hands up because my 2019 was disastrous for so many reasons. I know everyone's saying their 2020 was bad. Look, I'm embracing 2020 because I have thrown my hands up to God and when you take the wheel, you steer me in the right direction because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a good job. So this control freak had to kind of like, you know, settle down a little. And that was the hardest thing I ever had to learn how to do. Truly. Like that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do was learn how to let go. Like, you know, I remember saying like, I don't understand. Like I'm giving it all up to God. Like, I don't understand. And my husband's like, you're not letting go. Like you're still anticipating the outcome. And I'm like, well, how do you not anticipate the outcome? So like, I really had to train myself on how to have faith and what did that really look like? And you know, I know I'm getting really deep, but it's like that.
No, I feel
that's what I needed to do. Like my life didn't make it was disastrous on every level. It was disastrous to the point where I had no choice but to say, take it.
Yes.
I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to see what you do. And it's been beautiful.
You know, and then that reminds me that nugget that when we were connecting, you know, by phone trying to get the show set up, and you had me in tears that day. You remember? I was like, it was just so, you know, overwhelming, joyfully, because when you get to a point like that, you know, and we've gotten to that particular point in time, is that moving to LA was a big surrendering factor. You know what I'm saying? It was a hugest trust factor that I think that I can say collectively that we had to take on. You are majorly talking about a major step of faith. You know what I'm saying? Major. Because I mean, we could have stayed comfortably right there in the little sector of Atlanta, and you know, and things probably would have gone on in progression. But we knew that it was time to make this move. You know what I'm saying? We had to be here on this soil for things to transpire. You know, I think I said to you the day that we were talking that particular, you know, I'm one, and I know that you're one that you are strategically placed for different reasons. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, our apartment home, as I told you, that we are right around the corner, literally across the street from LA Center Studios. You know what I'm saying? There is a plug for that reason. I don't know what it is yet, but we're right there. We see every day, you know, we'll come out of the apartment, we'll have to get into the limo, and they'll drive us right on the corner.
Yeah. You know? And you'll know, like, he'll reveal it to you one day, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, that's God.
Exactly.
God only wants good things for you. He only wants good things for you. That's all he has in store for you. So the minute you stop and get out of your own way and let him deliver everything that he has for you.
You know what?
That's the hard part. That's the hard part is like how do you get out of your own way? And that I am so much a work in progress, and I'm trying so hard to instill it to my children at a young age so that if you get that at a young age, if you understand that process, I think your life is just going to be so much more joyous, so much more prosperous. And if everybody would just find their passion, find their gift, find their happiness, could you imagine what this world would be like?
Oh my goodness, yes. There wouldn't be too many 9-to-5s.
No, there wouldn't be too many 9-to-5s, and there wouldn't be this polarization. There wouldn't be this. There wouldn't be this discrimination. There wouldn't be all of that. Because we would be too concerned and joy-filled with our own lives.
Exactly.
And that's what acting does for me. That's what being a mom does for me, being a wife does for me. Like, finding that is so huge. And then, of course, you're going to have your bad days and, you know, things are going to suck and, you know, all of that. But for me, if I didn't throw my hands up to God in 2019, talking about timing, I would have fallen apart this year. So for me, that was God's timing to say, I need you to trust me now. And I put up, we have a chalkboard in my kitchen, and it says, do not fear, I will help you. And I wrote that on the chalkboard the day we got quarantined. Because my husband owns a manufacturing company. And I was like a very small one in Tennessee and very few employees. And I was like, you can't shut down. Like, you can't shut down. You can't shut down. Like, I thought we were going to lose everything. Like, I truly thought like this was it. Like, I'm not working. And, you know, and I just wrote that on the chalkboard, and it is still there. And I'm not sure I will ever erase it, because on every bad day that I had, I just looked at it, I put it right where we wash our hands. And I'm like, nope, that's our saying. That's our saying. That's our belief. He's going to help us. And he has, like, even on the darkest days where we were just like, the business is going under, you know, it's shut down for too long. There's nothing coming in, no sales coming, nothing. Everything was shut down. I was like, I'm not fearful. I don't know why. I don't know why it's going to be okay. I don't know how it's going to be okay. I just know that it's going to be okay. And I kept telling my husband, out of the clear blue sky, like, when there's no other options and something drops, that's when you know it was God. And that's
absolutely
that's exactly what happened. And I know, bam, there you go.
Yes.
And I'm like, I love that. I love that. So it's just affirmations, you know, that just
exactly. They're so important. They are truly important. You know, we always get to this point in the show that, and what I told you before for pre-show, how this vein just opens up, and it's such a beautiful, because the one thing behind truth is that it's about authenticity. You know what I'm saying? It's about you're gaining that, and that's one of the pledges that we try to do with this show, and we love how these deposits come. You know, and the representation that every guest, that everyone that has, you know, that comes on the show.
God is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
God is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, that one of our affirmations for the show is that love your creator, love yourself, love humanity.
That's right.
Once you put that in place, everything, and the synergy and the energy that brings everything to you in a way that is just so beautiful. You know, that as we come to an end, I hate to come to an end because I love these parts of the show.
Yes.
Do you have any? But you said a lot there. I mean, in terms of encouragement, you know, for everyone. But just drop a little nugget probably on the actors, you know, and where they can kind of pursue a little bit further, and the diligence that they need, in this industry. Real quick, just remember a couple of minutes on that, and then we'll bring it to a point. And then what I also want to say is about guys, with the symposium that we put together has been simply amazing. Of everybody that has participated in this, I cannot wait till all of us are together on this show, in December to see this energy happening. It's just going to be so awesome. And of course, guys, Tyra will be back for that particular show as well. But anyway, go ahead and make your point real quick, and we'll go ahead and end with that.
If all the actors out there, and this goes for human beings, do the inner work. You have to do your inner work first, because how can you possibly be authentic if you don't know who you are as a person and as a human being, what you stand for, what are your greatest fears, what are your greatest treasures? Do the inner work. And it's hard. It uncovers demons that you didn't even know were there, but you can use them and then use it in your acting as a therapeutic measure. And really, for me, I pray that God will use me in a way to use acting in healing, in empowerment, in telling stories that need to be told. And I think if you come into this art with great purpose, God will give it to you. And he won't give it to you until you're ready. So trust. Because I know I was like, God, I'm ready. I can, please give me this role. And I would be so close. I mean, 2019, part of that was I'm pinned. You're on hold. You're right of first refusal. Blah, blah. Didn't book any of them. None of them. And I was just like, what the hell? And I wasn't ready. Looking back, I can see, I'm like, okay, I know, because I wanted it for the wrong reasons.
You touched on it and just encapsulating what you just mentioned. It is amazing, right? Like we always talk about the energy, the synergy, and the spirit of the show. What you just said, Diana said exactly, almost verbatim, what she was on the show.
Wow.
And seriously, and I love how that, I guess I use the term, the regurgitating process of life, or the confirmation, of things that when you're in the right vein for such a greater purpose as this, what I'm saying? A greater purpose as this. We are going to change the phase of 2021. It started today with the excitement, man. I'm telling you, when we get out of this, I'm I can't even contain myself.
It's all going to be great. I would say that on set when we were in Canada, we're freezing our asses off. I'm like, it's going to be great. Even though affirmation says that it's not. I'm like, affirmation, it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's got to be great.
That darling, next t-shirt. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Yes. Darling, thank you so much for tonight. I really appreciate you taking time out tonight. The best to Skylar, and of course I'm going to be looking, can you share what movie she's doing, or they have to stay on wrap?
And it's killing me. But it will be out in 2021. Okay. As soon as I can say something, I will, but they have not announced it yet.
Gotcha. All right, fantastic. Well, you make sure you text me and everything, whatever, and then and promotion wise, if we do a special show for her to promote it, we'd love to do that.
Thank you.
Okay,
so we'll make that happen. She would be honored. She would be absolutely honored.
We would love to do that. Darling, thank you so much. Give him the best to your hubby. Give him hugs for us, okay? Skylar as well, all right? As we in our show, we always say Wakanda. We're going to say, we're Tyra. Love you. Smooches to you, my dear. All right. Have a beautiful night. Have an awesome Thanksgiving. And I'll be in touch with you as we put this whole together back in December for us to get back together. Okay.
That sounds absolutely awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a wonderful night, darling. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It has been a super night. Oh my gosh. Wow. It has been such a fun night. I have thoroughly enjoyed tonight. And again, so kudos out to President Biden. No, I'm saying President Biden. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm so thrilled. Thank you to everyone for bringing that. Hey, give us another show.
Put that in there.
Guys, thank you so much again for tuning in to Truth Behind the Truth tonight. We want to remind you again, thank you, our YouTube family, for tuning in tonight, as well as our Facebook family, and soon to be our Instagram family.
Yeah.
Go to the Truth Behind the Truth page. Get that what?
T-shirt.
Get that T-shirt. Get that
T-shirt.
T-shirt. T-shirt. Scroll down. There's a lot of things there on the page that you can scroll through. But go there. You'll find that link. Click on the PayPal link. Get that T-shirt. Okay.
Yes.
As well. And as I always say, we ain't scared to take your money now. You go to the same page. Click on that email. Say, hey, how can we get in touch with you to some money? Because we love your show.
Yes.
Right? We'll take it.
All right. One of those making $400,000 a year.
I know, right?
Hey, we'll take it.
I'll take the $400,000 a year. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. Anyway, guys, we're here every week. Okay, and we thank you, our loyal viewers.
Yeah.
You know, and those that catch us after the shows and ones, we thank you for that. Please remember to share. You know, as well. We'll be back here again next week, East Coast time at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Central time 8 p.m. and on the West Coast 6 p.m. You got anything else you want to say?
Oh no, there's nothing to be said.
Okay.
I think we said a lot. I think we have said a lot.
Exactly. It's been a great night. I want to thank our tech genius in Atlanta for all the support that we give, guys, especially if you are in need of a training studio, if you want to produce a podcast, and if you're an actor needing a space for auditions to record your live auditions, please contact Tech Genius there across on Ponce de Leon, across on Ponce City Market. You see the things on the closing remarks about that.
Next door to East.
Next door to East. Gotcha. Yes. Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you for a great night. We will see you again next week on what? The Truth Behind the Truth. Bye-bye.
Bye.